What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome. Welcome. It's me again, Brain44, your host of the Downloadable Brain podcast. And I'm coming at you live with some new stuff. This is going to be episode 36 titled The Complaint Department. Let's rock. Okay, so to me, the complaint department is taking everything people use to bitch about me and kind of throw it in their face that their judgment is incorrect. But it goes a little bit deeper than that. I don't do it because what people say or do controls my actions. I do it because sometimes I just feel like when I'm challenged, I should probably stand my ground. And I'm flattered y'all got a million things to say about me. Check out those memes. It's making me famous. Hey, thanks, hater, for making me famous. That's a riot. Where's my hair gel? Oh, yeah, I bicked my head. But sunny days rising. So let's go through a psychological war game as I decipher the misconceptions, lies, and false illusions of power regarding people thinking they are either entitled to me, feeling as if they can control my life, feeling they can dictate the situation, deciding how my life turns out due to their obsessive, weird ass behavioral patterns, which we always shoot down, but we're gonna rock. Let's get down. I'm gonna go through a carefully orchestrated list. Now, trigger warning, this might make some people pissed off. But hey, if you're watching or listening to me and you dislike me, I mean, the way I see it is that you got some mental instability that requires some sort of treatment right off the bat. And maybe you just wanted to scapegoat me for a problem that isn't even mine. And, if you've got to work through some issues, it's not really my burden to carry, and I won't carry it for you. So you've been warned now. Let's go through the list. Here's what I've been hearing about people's emotional reactions regarding me as of late. The first one is they are tired of my ambition. Oh, okay, so somebody's ambition bothers you, huh? Try gaining some for yourself and maybe focus on your own life. It won't kill you to work on yourself. The next one is they want me to be laying around all day. Well, I move around as much as I can currently, given the circumstances. I'm definitely not lazy. I'm just a product of my environment, but I'm not afraid of anybody. Like, I don't give a shit. They hate it when I get attention. Listen, if people want to rock with me and they're supportive, you'll never hear a complaint out of me. Like, if people have a problem seeing me do well, it sounds like it's a burden they have to carry, and they may require some therapy, but I'm good, and I'm not going to officially submit my concerns for their cognitive decline to the complaint department because it's not my problem. Sounds like it's them. Anyways, happy haters hate happy. So they are mad that I'm happy, but I'm kind of glad they're mad. Now, if we want to force psychological warfare on me, depending on the severity of the loony, I usually always play it cool and don't yell over top of a screaming voice. And I'm very in touch with maintaining my peace. And I like to focus on my chi. I feel like to focus on one's chi is that when somebody's really screaming at you or attempting to get a reaction out of you through things such as like humiliation or slander, if you respond in a calm manner or choose not to respond at all, it really showcases that you've mastered your chi. And I feel like the more I do that every day, the less I care about people being hateful or stupid. But if I ever get like nasty in a song or something like that, I'm just having fun. I don't really obsess over people. Can't say the same for them regarding me. I mean, they want me to crave validation as the next one. Okay, sounds like a controlling personality trait. Sounds like an issue for the complaint department that requires urgent therapy, but I don't give a shit if I'm validated. I mean, I appreciate those who are supporters and choose to rock with me. Validation's always nice. Nobody ever complains about getting validated for their work. But the next one is they want me addicted to substances and alcohol. Okay, I understand. I made a decision a while back. I will never abuse substances or drink alcohol again. Even though all I ever really did before was smoke pot and drink beer for the most part. I also had an issue with whiskey that I overcame, but I will be sober and drug free for the rest of my life, and I plan on living a long, healthy life. You can bank on that, buddies. So don't worry, you can't control me or force that narrative because I made a decision to never drink or smoke again. So you don't have to worry about it. But I know y'all would love a relapse, and I know somebody would alert the town crier that it's never going to happen. And I know people just love to hate on me. So, I mean, you can try and force that narrative, but it's not going to stick because I live a sober life and I'm drug free, baby. So, I'm going to say, though, you're welcome to the Liquor Control Board whenever people are hating on me and they can't control my life. And it's so pathetic that they probably head over to the liquor store to get themselves a bottle because they're so stressed out that they can't control me and they're tired of seeing me win. It's like, fuck, I need the shot of Crown Royal right now. Next one, they want me to dim my light. Well, having my light could mean many different things. To me, having light means when you are tested, people want to provoke a fight with you. And there's a right and wrong way to do it. For example, a voodoo master wants to attack you with some voodoo shit. How are you going to react? A dark practitioner wants to attack you with spell work. How are you going to react? Well, I'll tell you regarding the whole dimming my light situation. When I first let it be known, I wasn't planning on quitting music or anything. I had people start doing a lot of spell work on me. And they also backed it with a lot of slander, harassment, and just violating my personal space. Like, what kind of person does that? So they brought me to a state of confusion for a while there, and it did dim my light for a little while. So I just thought, okay, how can I send energy back? And, the wrong way to do it is to wish what they wanted for you back onto them. And that's not something I do. I've had to learn to control myself regarding that. So to maintain your light and protect yourself from spell work is just simply to ask the universe for protection and also to return whatever energy is being sent your way back to whoever sent it if they wish bad things for you. Even though you hold like no animosity towards anybody, worst case scenario, you'll cuss them out in a song and throw a few punches at the mic. Doesn't mean we dim our light, it just means we refuse to practice the same things they do, which is what they would love because then they would feel like they can control us, and that never works. Depletion is defeation, and you're welcome to the liquor store because I know the sales are going to increase. The next one, they expect me to be devalued. Okay, well, how people choose to support me says a lot regarding that. I think a lot of them have been mostly trained to hate me by default. I encourage them to make the choice for themselves after listening to a podcast like this, or maybe listening to one of my songs or one of my covers. If they still decide to hate on me, if it was based on a conversation I wasn't included in, like I never even had the chance to defend myself. How pathetic is that? Nor should I care to, because if you are already quick enough to judge and join in on that conversation, excluding me from it, it's not as if you devalued me. It's just you expected things to go that way regarding the narrative that you create, and it's not going to play out that way for everybody, no matter how much you try. People who don't go out of their way to find an issue are not going to find one. And others who thrive on gossip will thrive with the rest of the chickens in the chicken flock. They tried to make me think I'm sleepy is the next one. Okay, that sounds like spell work to me. I mean, I catch my Z's at night, but I'm on a time clock regarding how many hours I get in. Either way, you can't control me because I sleep pretty well. The next one is they don't want me to have a career. Okay, well, like in the community, I'm in at this time, I mean, that was a success. So I'll give them props for the character assassination, slander, abuse, misjudgment, and cruelty. It's just that not only do I no longer care, I feel like you all did me a favor when you forced my hand because you taught me how to be the man I was always meant to become. And I don't need anybody but myself to accomplish my goals. They don't want me to have ambition. All right, how's that working out? Because we're doing a podcast right now, and that's kind of ambitious, I guess. We posted a cover last night. That could be ambitious. Probably might even do something more later. Who knows? I never lack ambition. I may take breaks if I must, but usually I'm pretty content and I don't burn out too easily. Somebody wants to block me is the next one. Yeah, I can see that regarding the numbers. I just don't care. And some people are supportive of me regardless. You might as well just say, this guy is a valuable asset and we're going to let him earn for us. Because the way I see it is I already have, but either way, your decision doesn't dictate my actions going forward and I'm good. I just feel like as a creator at this time, I'm definitely underpaid, especially if I'm not making anything. Then it's just like, who's going to answer to that, right? Because that energy has to come back. Like, I feel like by being here, I'm helping the place out. And, I'm wishing everybody good. I don't hate on people. I don't go around hating on people all day, but some people do. It's not for everyone. The next one is they expected me to quit. Yeah, when you're up against a massive smear campaign with slander, character assassination, premeditated psychic bullying, spiritual bullying, harassment, and invasion of privacy, it might convince like 99% of people to quit who are up against that sort of thing. But hey, nice to meet you. I originally quit, but one of your very same people who took part in bothering me actually inspired me to keep going. And I feel like even though I don't trust that person because I know they are karmic, they at least helped set me on my path and inspired the hell out of me. And I'm actually grateful for her motivation, even if that chick is hating on me. I hope one day I can have the same effect on somebody who was supposed to hate on me too, but maybe I can convince them otherwise, or maybe I don't at all. It's all good either way, no worries. The next one is they want me to feel exhausted and tired of work. Well, working on music is hard work. It's a lot of effort. Doing a podcast is sort of hard work, I guess. You got to put in the time and you have to get more creative about it. But even just making goofy content sometimes is work. I guess I'd call it lazy work, but I don't know. It depends on how creative you get. Like, if you're just sitting there talking, I'm talking right now, so I'm not going to say too much about that. Whatever comes out. But when you're creative and you have mastered your abilities, though, you're going to let it flow naturally. It just flows like it's in the moment, but you aren't trying to push or force it. Bruce Lee described this method when he became one of the best fighters. And it just comes naturally. Like, I'm not a fighter, I'm just an artist, and I'm really creative with things. I'm tapped into my spiritual potential, and I feel like I'm 100% where I need to be right now. That's where I'm at now, and how my energy works when I line it up with my talent is that it just flows naturally. I'm not forcing it or pushing too hard. And the next one is they're getting a lot of readings done on me. Okay, do you actually pay readers to do readings on me? Like, I imagine no reader would work for free. Like I said before, though, one of the people who are into readings that came against me became like my biggest teacher. I just don't believe in the same stuff she does, but she helped me. So it really backfired there. The next one is multiple people are jealous. I know it's so obvious, and y'all ain't even doing what I do, but you're just talking shit. I don't give a shit. If you piss me off, you might catch a clap back, but it's highly unlikely I'm even thinking about you. The next one, their life purpose is to control me. Okay, but you have no control over me, right? Because you expected me to quit and I didn't quit. You expected me to get angry and react, and I didn't get angry. You expected me to become restless. I didn't become restless. Like, you had all these expectations to control me, but maybe you need to put your fucking ass in therapy and control yourself, dumbass. That's for somebody or multiple people, whoever needs to hear it. I'm an expert on psychological warfare and deception tactics used to control and manipulate the mind into doing what the culprit wants or expects, and it used to work on me. But nowadays, I see it as alchemy. I'm just not somebody who dabbles in dark energies. But the way I see it is that if they're doing that sort of stuff on me, it's like the people doing it almost fail to realize they are helping me become better. Or maybe they just hate on me secretly, but they get off on helping me level up. I don't know. Like, I picture somebody in a group who's constantly hating on me at night and even when they wake up during the day. Then they might go to bed or something with her husband, and she imagines like me being with her instead of her husband or something. I don't know. I can't make it up, y'all. Like that's how I feel. Maybe I'm egotistical regarding that. I don't think so. I think I'm pretty humble. And I'm not a home wrecker, so I don't want to give like any married women the wrong idea regarding this, okay? The next one, they want me to be insecure. But yeah, like I said, I mastered the art of not caring. And people needed me to really feel insecure in that little game they were playing. And it's like, okay, challenge accepted, but it's not going to work. Like the challenge was for me to give in to your irrelevant opinions, and it just doesn't work on me. It's irrelevant at this point. It's like somebody removing lint or something. If somebody's all negative and toxic and hateful, what's the point of listening? Unless it's constructive criticism, then I actually welcome it. But somebody who's hateful and toxic doesn't have a constructive thing to say. They're just all about the hate and toxicity. Anyways, they expect me to have financial instability, is the next one. Okay, challenge accepted. It's like, you know, if you owe me money, you should probably pay me. But if you choose to hide it and everybody's okay with that and nobody does anything about it, I'm going to earn and make my way up one way or another. And you can bank on it, mark my words. But hey, if you guys want to see me get there faster, please do pay me whatever you owe me. And maybe I'll be able to invest in myself a little bit more. If not, I'm still leveling up because I can feel it and my work speaks for itself. The next one, they can't stop obsessing over me. Uh-oh, sounds like a therapy problem, but be careful regarding therapy because I learned I needed to fix myself from conflict when in reality, therapists would most likely make it worse for me. And, I did more healing just by digging in myself to find my true self and face my shadow. That was how I was able to heal, and I didn't need any therapist for that. And even, my biggest haters, some of my biggest haters, they say nobody can help you but yourself. And I agree with that. Even when I used to go to I tried going to this guy to get some advice on substance abuse at the time when I was using. And then I realized that once I was able to heal myself and go deep within, I would never, ever want to drink another alcoholic beverage again or smoke a joint again. And I never will because I'm just really at my peak right now and I feel good. So I learned I needed to fix myself from conflict when in reality, a therapist would just make it worse for me. I made a comeback nobody could have ever imagined. The next one, making up all kinds of lies. That's what people do with me. People who thrive on dramatic situations are really meant for each other. But if I ever decided to start a band or anything like that, you dramatic freaky deakies would never make the cut to be my drummer or guitar player or vocalist because you're dramatic and toxic and you can't come correctly, so don't come at all. The next one is they want me to feel like I'm a problem. Yeah, I can tell by the behavior of a lot of people, but it just doesn't work because I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm capable of thinking for myself, and I'm not overly emotional about people being weird with me. I mean, you got to know your place and give credit where credit is due, but you also got to butt your nose out of people's business and focus on yourself and mind your own business. It's kind of weird, but if you refuse all that and you keep me relevant, worst case scenario, you catch a clapback. If you piss me off enough, which is pretty hard to do these days, best case scenario, I was not even thinking about you or listening to you. And you can't control me. That's just how it is. Okay, we're going to go here now. People are angry at me for being jealous and miserable. But it's their own emotions that they're angry about. And I have nothing to do with them being jealous and miserable. They cannot even control themselves. And they hate to see me do well. Yeah, but again, that's your problem, not mine. I can clearly see the problem is you or multiple people for whoever feels that way. I'm not even doing anything wrong. I might not even know you. And if I ever did know you, it's no wonder we don't speak anymore. if you bring that kind of dramatic and crazy as hell type energy. Stay in your lane, get well soon. The next one is doing magic over me to manipulate my feelings, finances, and success while also playing the victim. That's so pathetic. How's it working out? I mean, I feel good. My finances could be better, but I'm sure some people might even take credit for that little setback. You gonna call it magic, or did you actually literally steal money from me? And did you do like a character assassination to prevent me from leveling up at a company or anything like that? Because that's not magic at all, but that's just being a thief or like a weirdo. As far as controlling my success, though, I've only been here for a few months and I'm not growing too slowly. Even if it could go a lot faster, I'm going to do what I set out to accomplish and achieve my goals. And last but not least, somebody is crying over me. Surprise, surprise, somebody's crying. If you ever went through half of what I've been through, would you cry for that? Or are you crying because you're the culprit and the chaos curator, but you're crying because you can't control me? Because that's really pathetic. And that's about the weakest thing somebody can do, because if you went through half of the shit I went through, most people wouldn't last a day. Anyways, it doesn't matter. By the way, I listened to a few tarot readers on this platform. Some seem karmic, some seem to play both sides. I sense with energy, though, that even some readers who are supposed to be hating on me actually don't hate me at all. That's just my assessment regarding their energy, but I don't claim perfection when I pick up on energy. Sometimes I get it wrong. Sometimes my intuition's a little bit off. Let me know how you rock. I'm going to end it there. Until next time, get yourself a tissue, baby. You can't control me. Wow, Jamie's crying. That's Brain 44 of Downloadable Brain signing out. Pay me and I'll sell you some shirts. And I'll collect your tears as currency. I'm just kidding. Have a good one, y'all.